Welcome back everybody to another brand new video. So today we are working on something super duper special. Let's go and have a look at it. We got a 1996 Ford Escort COSWORTH. Just have a look at that. This is lovely. It's only done 74,000 miles from new. It's just had a £20,000 respray, so it's mint. The engine top end's been all rebuilt. Lovely wheels on it, massive brakes. It's perfection. So Dream Car Giveaways own this car. Pretty much as soon as I give them back, they're going to put it on the competition site. I think it's going on June the 8th or 9th, something like that. I drove it from their place here. Oh, drives lovely. Loads of torque. Really fun to drive. I love this car. So anyway, enough chatting. Let's crack on with a couple of little jobs. The first job on the list is the indicators. So now it's on the ramp. Let's have a look at the problem. Right then, let's turn the ignition on. So the problem we got with this is if we turn the indicator right, the main beam comes on, which is definitely no good. It's not what you want. If we go left, it's fine, it goes off. I've noticed if I just like waggle the stalk a little bit, there you go, can you hear that? So it's a bit of dirt in the stalk, or wires loose, or just the stalk's knackered or something. If we come across to the other side, we've got the wipers. If I put the front wipers on, absolutely nothing happens. But the rear wiper works okay. Also, we've got no washers on the rear. So a lot of problems in this area. Let's strip it off. Let's see if it's full of dust, or I mean, the car's just had a respray, so yeah, full of dust or anything could be in there affecting the contacts. If not, stalk's knackered. So let's crack on. So getting this indicator stalk off is easy peasy. There's just 2 screws on the top cover, either side of that hazard light switch. And then underneath, there's 3 more screws you just got to undo. And then the top cover just lifts out, so does the bottom cover. And then we've got 1 screw in the middle, and actually the indicator and wiper stalk come off all in one, which is ideal. And there we go, 1 Ford Escort COSWORTH indicator stalk with wipers. Looking at it, it's a total sealed unit, you know. There's a couple of tabs on the back that I could probably get apart, but it's going to break it. All the connectors on the back look clean. The wiring loom was on there nice. So it's just going to be a Duff indicator stalk. Luckily for me, went down GSF and they had one there, believe it or not. The whole thing, let me move that out of the way, cost £42 plus the VAT, cheap as chips. And funnily enough, if you look at it real close, can you see that badge? It's the original Ford badge that's just been scratched out. So that's a genuine part, so ideal. Right, I'll get this back on and let's see if the indicators and the wipers work. Let's crack on. And then with it all back together, let's give it a check, shall we? Yeah, indicators work okay now. Main beam doesn't come on. Let's have a go at the wipers. Mint, they're working now, which is good. And the washers. No, we've still got no washers. Another thing I noticed is I leant on the steering wheel for the horn. We got no horn either. So let's go and find the washer pump, see if we got power to it. Let's go. Good news, I found the washer pump. It's sat up, let me put the torch down, in front of the wheel arch here, and we can see it's a single pump. It's got 2 pipes coming out of it, one for the front washers, one for the rears. So let's get the connector off. And there we go. Yeah, we got two wires coming in. Right, the ignition's on. Let's just see what it is. Yeah, I got a live and a live. So we've got two lives, and where's my wire? I'm gonna have to put a wire onto a terminal because unfortunately, there we go. Unfortunately, I'm not quick enough to press the button and then run round and see if we got power. So I'll take this up to this side. Right, with the wire connected, we can see it's red, means power. So if I press the switch, it should make an earth and creates a circuit. So let's have a look. Yeah, there we go. I mean, we know the switch is good because I've just changed it. So washer motor's knackered. Let's do the same for the horn, which is behind the front grille. So again, I'll pull the wire off, connect it up to our little blue wire so I can read it here again. And let's press the horn. Yeah, there we go. We got power going to it. So the horn's knackered as well. I mean, it has been sat for a while it's been having this respray. So there we go. I suppose if you want to be a bit more technical, you can get the parts off and bench test them. For this, I usually use my Ford Special Diagnostic hammer. And I connected up the earth. Let's connect up the live. Give it a positive. There's nothing. Now with the use of this special tool, and there we go. I ain't gonna stick that back on because give it about an hour and it will stop working again, and nobody wants to go under there every time we need to work the washers. So I should get them to deliver really. Same with the horn and the washer pump. Let's go down and pick a new one up. Shove them on our Escort COSWORTH. Let's go. And now we got those parts on, let's give it a check, shall we? Washers. Yeah, they're working, which is good. And the horn. There we go. That's another one, well, another couple of jobs ticked off our list. On with the next one. Next on the list is the lights. So continuing work around the front of the car here. I've had to put the booster pack on it. I think I've had the ignition on a bit too long, flattened the battery a little bit. I'm going to show you our problem. So with the ignition off, I'm going to turn the side lights on. There we go, nothing happens. Now I can tell the switch is working because if I work it on and off, you can see the rear lights are working. So something on the front there. Now with the side lights on and I turn the ignition on, dazzling. The spotlights come on for some unknown reason. Now headlights, they work okay, and main beam, everything's as it should. But yeah, if I turn it back down to side lights, that is definitely not what you want while you're driving. So somehow the side lights are wired into them spots. No idea how that's been done. So let's strip the airbox out, get that top half off and the bottom half. And then that gives us a lot more room so we can see what's going on. And straight away, I can see why our side lights aren't working. It's not even connected. Now, there's a loose wire here with 2 pins. So let's get the power probe and test what's coming up to them pins. So both pins are green, which means there's an earth. Let's just turn the side lights on. And now, yeah, the one's gone red. So that's our side light loom. So I'll connect that up to the bulb. We'll see if that works. I expect it's the same the other side. I'll see you in a minute. And now those bulbs are actually connected with a wire. Let's give it a go. Right, ignition off, side lights on. Hey, lovely jubbly. Right, let's turn the ignition on. No. No, we've still got them spotlights coming on. Right, so down here, those spotlights are run off this relay here. Let me just pull the wire off the back of the headlight and let's test it. So looking at the back of the plug, we can see that white wire, that's the one that tees off to that relay, so that's an earth. And then we've got the yellow wire, that's a headlight. That's earth, so that's no power going up there. And then we've got the actual earth. And the earth, let me just check the other side. Yeah, the earth's got power going to it. Now I know that most cars, they have a thing called dim dip, which is when the ignition's on with the side lights, the headlights come on sort of like 20% power. Now I wonder if the earth puts the voltage back through the bulb and that makes the headlights come on dim, but then that signal is going to the main, you know, the spotlights and putting those on. It's kind of hard to explain, but possibly that's it. Let's check this other side and get this one off. So with the side lights on only, earth, earth, and earth. So it's only this side that gets a low voltage up the earth. So I wonder if we connect the relay and this connection on that side and then that side on this side, because this side is doing the dim dip stuff. Let's give it a go. So with the wiring off, you can kind of see what I'm on about a bit clearer. This side, you've got this where that goes to the loom, that goes to the headlight, and then this wire tees off to the relay, which powers up that spot. And then on the other side, all you've got is this, which is just, that goes to the car's loom, and that goes to the headlight. So yeah, let's swap them over. Fingers crossed. Sound. Well, let's put this on. And it's the moment of truth. The wiring is on. Let's give it a test. Fingers crossed. Side lights. Yeah, I can see they're on. Right. Ignition on. Side lights. Now. Yes, we're working. So the headlights have come on 20%. You know, the dim dip. That's all right. Right. Headlights. Yeah, they're on. And main beam. Have a look at that. Have we got front spotlights as well? Are they both working? Yes. Awesome, looks like a proper beast now. So I suppose this job just ended up being a case of RTFM, read the effing manual. If the previous person bought the lights new, I expect that was in the instructions from Moretti. If not, you might have bought them second hand, and then you just get a set of lights with a bit of wire and you've got a 50-50 chance of putting them on wrong, which was unfortunately the case this time. But job's a good one, they all work mint. That's another job ticked off our list. On to the next one. And next on the list is the brakes. So the previous owner that Dream Car Giveaways brought this car off spent £15,000 on very nice wheels, I have to say, and absolutely ginormous AP race touring car brakes. And that's what we got a problem with. So I'll get it up in the air, get the rear wheel off, and show you what we're dealing with. One last wheel nut, and then we're off. Whoa, just have a look at that. That is massive. 328mm rear disc. That's bigger in the front on most cars, and just take a look at the size of that caliper compared with my hand. That is one chunky big boy. As I said, it's off a touring car. It's absolutely huge, but I suppose one thing touring cars don't have, well, I don't think they do, is a handbrake built into that caliper like you get on the standard ones. If we have a look in this wheel arch, you can see there the handbrake being cable tied back up on itself. So yeah, being an MOT tester myself, I'm pretty sure the car will fail an MOT if it's got no handbrake. So that's the next thing we got to do. Where is it? The previous owner, when they give Dream Car Giveaways the car, they gave them this, which is a Brembo handbrake unit, I suppose you could say. There's no fluid that goes into this, it just connects up to the cable. Now, I suppose it's supposed to be fitted somewhere around here or down there, but I mean, you've got the cable joins this bit, there's all moving parts here. You could go over a bump, crimp the cable. It's not something I'm happy about making a bracket, especially if it's not strong enough. Somebody's going down the road and they fancy yanking on the handbrake. So I found a place local in Redditch called Rail and Motorsport. So they want all the brakes off to go to them to make up like a custom mount for either this handbrake caliper or one they'll supply. So let's stop talking. Let's get these rear brakes off. So what I'm going to start with is just putting a little blank in this metal brake pipe, stops it peeing out fluid for the time it's away. Then undo the brake hose, caliper end and the 2 bolts that hold it on, and that slips off nicely. The disc pops off and then we're left with the hub. He wants that too. So the big middle nut comes undone, then the 4 little 13s round the outside, and that whole hub comes off nice. And there we have it. I've built it back up, so he's got absolutely everything to work out where this handbrake's going to go. It's about a week turnaround, which is a bit of a pain. We've got a couple of little jobs to crack on with while it's away, but it'd be good to get this back. So the other little jobs we've got to do on the Escort is a full check over and an oil and filter change. The Escort's just had a top end rebuild, so it's always good to get in there, get some fresh fluids in there and have a good look round. And then on the check over, I noticed that we've got no locking wheel nuts, so ordered in a kit and fitted them mint. The other thing on the check over I noticed on this mega expensive car, have a look at this. That's right, we've got a piece of wood as a battery clamp. Now that is awesome. So I ordered in a second-hand Escort battery clamp, an original one, and fitted that on as well. And then with all those jobs done, we're just left waiting for the brakes. He's told me it's going to be less than a week, so fingers crossed. See you in less than a week, I guess. See you in a minute. Good news, the parts are back. Let's have a look at them. Looks like a giant jigsaw puzzle, but he's kind of showed me how to put it together, so hopefully I won't muck it up. You can see here the brackets that he's made. Very nice. I mean, if you imagine if I had, say, this aluminium block and I had to make that, I got no chance. I'd have a long grey beard and, well, I'd say grey hair, but I've got no hair. It'd take me too long. But he has done an excellent job. Cost 700 quid. But at the end of it, we've got all this stuff that's gonna give our Escort COSWORTH a handbrake, which is what it definitely needs. We've got extra brackets for the original calipers to mount, so all the cables are gonna work and everything like that. That's the good thing about this kit. We got rear pads that, because the discs are wider, they've been machined down 3.5 mil, so they're gonna fit. And also the pad carriers have been machined down in there as well. So let's get fitting. See how we get on. Let's go. Okay, fitting this, just basically everything in reverse order. So we get that big hub back on, drive shaft through the middle nice, and then we're only securing it just at the back 2 bolts for now. If you remember, that old caliper sat at the top there in the original caliper mounts, but the new one we're fitting fits at the front. It's 3 bolt fixing as well, so that's going to make it stronger. So we're using 2 longer 8mm Allen key bolts going through that mount and into the hub fixings. Now after that, we fit the bracket he's made to take that original caliper at the top in its original space, but obviously it's spaced up a bit because the disc is bigger. And then goes on that lovely big disc, and then we're ready to fit our caliper. Now we've got a bit of a problem because you remember that old caliper fitted at the top. Let's put it the right way around. Fitted at the top, bleed nipples facing upwards allows the air to go out. We're now fitting it round there, bleed nipples facing downwards, no good. You kind of think, well, I could just get one off the other side and fit it, but that's where the problem starts. If you have a look inside here, see those pistons? That's right, one is bigger than the other. They're actually sided calipers. Also, that little arrow gives it away, direction of rotation. When the disc is rotating, the smaller sized piston should contact first and then the bigger one after. So we need to put those nipples in the top. You think it's simple, but AP Racing love to like super glue that brake pipe in, which is a right pain to get out. So leave it with me for 2 minutes. I'll see if I can swap them over. So with a little bit of heat from a hot air gun, I gently wafted it around that brake pipe and it come off mint. And then with the bleed nipples facing the right way, I got the caliper fitted nice. Next up is the pad carrier for that original caliper. That goes on, then the pads go in, and then we've got our original caliper going on. Once that's on, get underneath with the side cutters. Let's cut these cable ties off and free up the handbrake cable. Get it threaded up through and onto that caliper. The last thing to do is the braided brake pipe. So because the caliper was on the top, the brake pipe is short, we need a longer one now. So again, Radar Motorsport made me up a new one. It goes from the caliper round and then job's a good one. It's all done. I tell you what, no messing around. You get what you pay for, and with Radar Motorsports, he's a real nice bloke to chat to and stuff like that, and it all went on. No messing, you know, job's a good one. It looks, from what it was, a little bit more cluttered now, but we needed a handbrake anyway, and now whoever wins this car, you know, has no problems using it on the road. It'll pass an MOT. Yeah, awesome. So what's left to do? Same on the other side, then bleed the brakes, and then our Escort COSWORTH is all finished. So those original calipers, because they sit at the top of that disc now, really from the outside when you're walking around it, you just don't see them. You can see that big, massive AP Racing brake nice there at the front of the disc, and it just looks good. And I've checked, and the handbrake works. So that's it. This will get dropped off at Dream Car Giveaways. Here's the link for their YouTube channel. They've promised me they're going to do a road test video on that. It's definitely worth a watch. It's such a nice car, this one. I love it a bit. So they're going to Players Show. I think it's a Goodwood. That's about the 8th of June or the 9th of June. It's going to go on their competition site then. So if you want an absolutely lovely Escort COSWORTH, give it a go. That's it from me. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Ta-da.